This is an AI generated script, except for this bit. So I just felt like giving out a bit of dry AI web-based information which is likely full of inaccuracies, so if anything pops out at you as being grossly inaccurate or weird, please do search for the specific information you need to clarify it. I can verify that I've read all this sort of thing before, so it may well be vaguely true. So we're going to look through the spiritual uses of cannabis throughout the ages. Let me just kick the AI in. It's on. The spiritual use of cannabis spans millennia and is deeply intertwined with religious rituals, shamanic practices, and cultural traditions across diverse civilizations. Below is a synthesis of its historical and contemporary spiritual significance, supported by evidence from archaeological, textual, and ethnographic sources. Here we go. Ancient spiritual uses. China, 2700 BCE to 100 CE. Cannabis was documented in Emperor Shen Nung's Pharmacopoeia, 2800 BCE, for medicinal and ritual purposes. Taoist texts describe its ability to free the spirit and facilitate communication with ghosts or divine entities when consumed long term. Archaeologists discovered 2,500-year-old wooden bowls with THC-rich cannabis residue in Xinjiang, suggesting shamanic rituals for divination or burial ceremonies. India and Hinduism, 1500 BCE to the present. The Atharva Veda, 2000 to 1400 BCE, lists cannabis as one of 5 sacred plants, associating it with joy and liberation from anxiety. It became linked to Shiva, the Lord of Bhang, who used it to enhance meditation. 3 forms are ritually consumed: bhang, a drink; ganja, smoked leaves; and charas, which is hashish. These remain central to festivals like Holi and Shivaratri. Scythians and Central Asia, 5th to the 2nd century BCE. Herodotus described the Scythians inhaling cannabis smoke in steam tents during purification rituals, howling with joy in altered states. Burial sites in the Pamir Mountains revealed cannabis with elevated THC levels, indicating intentional cultivation for psychoactive rituals. The Middle East and Abrahamic traditions. Assyrians and Zoroastrians burned cannabis as incense for spiritual visions. The Jewish Talmud and Old Testament, via disputed translations of Cannabosum, suggest cannabis was part of sacred anointing oils. Sufi mystics later adopted cannabis for ecstatic practices, using it to transcend worldly concerns. Africa and indigenous practices. The Bashulenge tribe of the Congo formed the Bene Riamba cult, venerating cannabis as a communal sacrament. Hemp was also used in healing rituals for pain, tetanus, and spiritual purification. Pre-Columbian Americas. Aztecs and Mayans. Cannabis was associated with Xochipilli, the god of art and love, and used in rituals to induce trance states for divine communication. The Incas employed cannabis in medicinal poultices and burial rites, though details are sparse. Modern spiritual practices. Rastafarianism. Cannabis, or ganja, is a sacrament believed to connect adherents to Jah, or God. It is smoked during reasoning sessions for meditation and communal prayer, interpreted through biblical passages like Genesis 1:29. Contemporary entheogenic movements. Neo-shamanic and New Age groups integrate cannabis into meditation, yoga, and ceremonies to achieve peak experiences or unity with nature. Ethnographic studies highlight its role in fostering community bonds and self-awareness. A 2022 study found 66% of surveyed cannabis users reported spiritual benefits, linking its use to mindfulness and non-theistic spiritual practices. Buddhism and Taoism. While Theravada Buddhism discourages intoxicants, tantric sects historically used cannabis as a perfect medicine for rituals. Taoist alchemists employed it to harmonize body and spirit. The revival of ancient rituals. Modern practitioners recreate Scythian steam rituals or Hindu bhang ceremonies, often blending historical traditions with personal spirituality. Archaeological and textual evidence. The Egyptian mummies. THC traces in Ramses II's tomb and the Ebers Papyrus 1500 BCE confirm medicinal and ritual use. Hebrew shrines. Residue from Tel Arad altars 700 BCE suggests cannabis was burned in group ceremonies. Challenges and revival. Despite prohibitionist policies, the spiritual legacy of cannabis persists. Modern legalization movements often cite its historical sacramental roles, while scientific interest in the endocannabinoid system has reignited appreciation for its mind-body harmonizing effects. For further exploration, refer to sources such as the Atharvaveda, Herodotus' accounts, and contemporary studies on entheogenic practices. Ta-da! So there we go. A lot of information about the spiritual uses of the sacred herb throughout the ages. I hope you found it fascinating and maybe made you feel like the spiritual recreational use of the sacred herb should be re-legalized in this country for the modern age. I mean, all these ancient traditions can't be wrong, right? Shiva Wilson with LC UK. Good night.